It's a day early, but tomorrow's yard side is my dear aunt and my and Lenny's aunt is Hannah Bas Rav Yosef HaKohen. She was a special woman, very strong and very an excellent wife. Best challah I ever tasted. Best water challah I ever tasted. Really, just unbelievable. And she was a big role model for my wife. Who very much took after us. So we early little nishmas. Chana Bas Rabbi Yosef HaKohen. Okay, we're up to Samech Hey on the days. We're up to Samech Hey on the days, and we're about 10 lines to the bottom. So this is a total digression from Masechta Baba Basra. It's really a sugi of Tumah V'Taira, but the way we segued into it was the sale. We said if you sell a house, is the mortar that's in the house part of the sale or not? So the Chachamim made a distinction between a mortar that was part of the wall and then hollowed out. So it was kavua and then it was hollowed out, versus if it was first hollowed out and then attached to the wall. If it was first hollowed out and attached to the wall, then it's considered metaltalin. It's not part of the sale. If, however, it was attached to the wall and hollowed out, then it's karka and it's part of the sale. According to Rabbi Eliezer, there was no distinction. In either way, kol mechubel karka is like karka. Anything that's mechubel karka is like karka. So today we're going to go ahead. We're going to bring in a brisa and say the brisa does not go according to Rabbi Eliezer or the Chachamim. And then we're going to go ahead and the rest of the daf to find out exactly how not. So it's a bit involved, a bit technical. I made a chart that when I looked at it, I didn't understand the Gemara any better. So I'll post the chart, and if it helps you, great. If not, I'll take the blame. I thought it was a good chart, but unfortunately, when I went over it, I saw it wasn't. Okay, so we're beginning Tan Rabbanan. Again, the main thing is, fellas, that you should know that the Rabbi Eliezer holds anything that's mechubal karka is like karka, and the Chacham say no, because the Chacham were of the opinion that if it was in fact first hollowed out and then attached, it's going to be what? It's not part of the sale because it's metaltalin. It's a kli. Sinar shechakaku ulevesayf kavu. A sinar. Just 1 second. A sinar is a pipe. Shechakaku, that you first hollowed out the pipe. Ulevesayf kavu, and in the end you went ahead and you attached it. Paisel es hamikvah. Then it's going to pass the mikvah because it'll be considered mayim she'uvim. We know a mikvah has to be mega shamim, and if it's drawn through a pipe, then it's called, or a pitcher or something, it's called shuvim, and shuvim passels a mikvah. Again, if it's an existing mikvah, of course it doesn't passel, right? But again, if you're going to make the mikvah out of mayim shuvim, it's going to passel the mikvah. So water going in over here would passel the mikvah if it's not a complete mikvah. Thank you. Kavu, if however first you koiveya, it wasn't a pipe yet, you took the material and you set it in place. Ulbesoif, and the end chakaku, you went ahead and you hollowed it out. Ain a poisel es mikvah. It would not go ahead and passel the mikvah. Why? Because then it's considered, it's not shuvim. It wasn't drawn by a pipe. In other words, in the first case, it was a kli, because you hollowed it out first and then attached it. In the second case, it never was a kli, because it came into existence as karka. It came into existence as attached. Guys, very important. Again, if you went ahead and you first made it into a kli and then you were kaiveya, it's going to passel, because the water going through it is going to be considered shuvim. It's going to be considered drawn from a kli. Conversely, if you went ahead and first attached it and then hollowed it out, so it never was a kli, it was always karka, and therefore would not be shuvim. That's a given. There's no machlokes in that. Good? Now, money. Who is the Tana of the Mishnah, of that brisa? That's a brisa. Who is the Tana of that brisa? Loi Rebbe Eliezer, the Loi Rabbanan. Neither Rebbe Eliezer or the Rabbanan. Guys, I'll tell you why. Because Loi Rebbe Eliezer, it's all karka. Lot Rabbanan, it's all kli. Again, we need a hybrid. We need a kli and karka, correct? That's what we need. We need a kli and karka. We need A and B. Like Rebbe Eliezer, it's all A. Like Rebbe the Chachamim, it's all B, and therefore they can't be the Tan of that brisa. They can't be the Tan of the brisa. Now the Gemara now is just going to look and say which Rebbe Eliezer is it not. Okay, so that's the setup. That's the setup. It's going to look something like this, of this ridiculous chart. You have a pipe. It's a tzinor. Good. You first hollowed it out. Kavua, paisel, why? Of course, it's a kli. Conversely, if you were kaveya first, set it first, chakak, ain't a paisel, of course, it's karka. So kli is A and karka is B. So now, it can't be Rebbe Eliezer, because we're going to see. Don't look at the bottom yet. We didn't do it yet. Rebbe Eliezer is going to be all B. Not A and B, just all B. The Chachamim can't be there because he's going to be all A, and we need an A and a B. Guys, you have the setup? You're set up for understanding now, right? You're set up for understanding now. Right? That again, we just have to fill in some of the blanks, but that's basically what is what we're trying to do. Good. Now, we just had a Rebbe Eliezer, Pashtus, who can't be the Tana of the Brisa. Again, Rebbe Eliezer, we said, is all karka, correct, guys? Rebbe Eliezer says it's all A, yes? What was the Rebbe Eliezer? You went ahead, you sold the house. You sold the house. Is the mortar part of the house or not? What did Rebbe Eliezer say? Whether it's set beforehand and then hollowed out, or hollowed out and then placed, either way it's karka. So that would be the easiest way of saying, obviously, Rebbe Eliezer can't be the Tana of that brisa. That brisa is a clear karka. Rebbe Eliezer is totally karka, correct? Guys, you good? Guys, you're good. Rebbe Eliezer is the total karka, yes? Now, says the Gemara, hi, Rebbe Eliezer. Elaine, Rebbe Eliezer, the bias. If it's going to say the Rebbe Eliezer, what we just did, selling a house, Dilma, Hainu time Rebbe Eliezer, Savar, Moicher, Ba'ayin Yafa Moicher. Maybe when he sells a house, the reason why everything belongs to him, it has nothing to do with whether it's a kli or not. We have to do with what? Whether the guy sells ba'ayin yafa. So whether it was attached beforehand or made a kli and then attached, the reason why it's part of the sale is not because it's karka, it's because ba'ayin yafa he's selling. Good? So therefore, that can't be. Good? So therefore, it can't be Rebbe Eliezer of bias. Because there's a different svara over there why the sale will go through. Not because it's all karka, but because Moicher ba'ayin yafa moicher. The Ela Rebbe Eliezer the kaveres, the voirim. It's Rebbe Eliezer of a beehive. Now it seems the beehive is as a din of karka, guys. The beehive has a din of karka. I don't know. It could be, yeah. It wasn't a natural beehive. I'm not sure, because it seems that it's man-made, that you made this beehive, like they have, you go see the guys who do bees. They take out these things and there's honey there. So it could be something like that, right? So l'chari, it has a din of karka. L'nafkamina, the Gemara goes. This is a Mishnah, guys, in Uktzin and Shvius. What does it say? Kaveris devoirim. Rebbe Eliezer oy mahari huki karka. It has a din of karka. Okay. Now, if it has a din of karka, what halachic applications would that be? Because you could write a puzbul on it. The long Rashbam over here goes into the concept of puzbul. Just for our sake, we remember that Shemitah is mishamed a chayv, that you have a chayv, not owe somebody money. They saw that people were stopping to go ahead and lend close to Shemitah because they're going to go ahead and lose it. So, what did they do? They went ahead, they wrote the puzbul. But the puzbul had to be written on karka. It had to be written on karka. Just like a malva is not going to give money to a person just like this, some security. So therefore, it has to be written on karka. Again, there's a Rashbam over here, Hefker Bes and Hefker. It's Moiser Shleirov Slabesdin. Seems to be Machloikas Tanoim, Marishoinim. Whether it's the same thing in Makkos, we had the Machloikas Rishoinim. Whether it's Tosfos says it's not. Rashi says it's Moiser Shleirov Slabesdin. If you give it over to Besdin, Hefker Bes and Hefker, so Besdin can take the money away and then give it to you. So you won't have the problem of going ahead and claiming the loan. Well, you guys, which is the Issa. Bottom line is, without going into more than that, It's written only on karka. So you could write a pusbal on a beehive. Bein mekabel is tuma. We know something that has mechuber to the ground, that has a din of the ground, is not mekabel tuma. A beehive is not mekabel tuma. Bimkoma, in its place. Not only is it mekabel tuma, the honey in the hive is not mekabel tuma. The honey in the hive is not mekabel tuma. And if you take the honey out on Shabbos, chayiv chatos, you be chayiv chatos. It's like being tolish, just like if you cut from the ground on Shabbos, kaitzer. So over here also it's tolish. It's a tolda. You're taking the honey from its source, disconnecting it from its source. B'shogeg, you be chayiv chatos. Meaning midaraisa, it's midaraisa, and therefore you be chatos. The chacham moimim ena kekarka. So therefore, l'chayra, Rabbi Eliezer is the A. He says it's karka. The Chacham say B. It's not karka, and neither one can be the Tana of Adis Braisa, which you need both karka and metaltla. Right? Once you get that, guys, it goes smooth. Either one. Says the Gemara. No, maybe over there it's different. Maybe Rabbi Eliezer holds he could be the Tana of the Braisa. You know what the problem is over there? A little background. Shaul goes to battle against the Pelishtim, and he says, and they're winning the battle, and they're pushing, and he makes a neder and says, anyone who's over on this neder, I forgot the lashon of the shvua exactly, but they made the shvua, and Yohannes' son was going to battle his son. He was starving. He was in battle for a long time. He came to a forest, and there was honey. He took a stick in it, and he took the honey, and he said it rejuvenated him. So it says regarding that, the chsiv vayitbol oisa beyaras hadvash, and he Yehonasan went ahead and stuck his staff into a yaras davash, into a forest of honey. My yar hatolish mena b'shabbos chayiv chatos, just like a forest. Anyone who disattaches something that grows is chayiv chatos. After vash harodim mena b'shabbos chayiv chatos. In other words, this din of kaveris shel devorim has a special clause to it. It could be Rebbe Eliezer holds that if it's sinor, he could hold kli and he could hold karka. He could hold both. I over here, why is it totally karka? Because of the special limud from the pasuk in Shmuel comparing it the vash to a yar. So just like over there, by the first clause we wanted to say was biased. Maybe the svara why was karka was because of bayin yafa. So to over here by yaris devash. So einachinami, you're not locked in to say that Rebbe Eliezer is not the tana of that brisa. He could be the tana of the brisa. Over here he says it's kekarka. He says over here kekarka only because of the special dimyan between honey and yar. So right now we don't know why the brisa can't be according to Rebbe Eliezer. Right. The Rashban brings also Rebbe, it could be they say the Chachamim, but it says it's not the style of the Gemara to go on and just go on and on. Very interesting Rashban. So Ella Rebbe Eliezer the Daf. It's Rebbe Eliezer of the Daf. The Daf. What's the Daf? Ditnan, a Mishnah. A Mishnah in Kalim. Daf shel nachtoimim. You have a Daf of bakers. Now, the Gemara Malacha was they would go ahead and smooth it down. By smoothing it down, the Gemara Malacha, a kli is not makabel tumah until it has a shem kli. The shem kli on this daf is where the mechalik, they go ahead and smooth it down. Shekavu b'kaisel. You went ahead and you would kaiveya it in the kaisel. So, guys, this is a kli that you put in the kaisel. This is similar to the tzinor that you put into the wall. So, Rebbe Eliezer mitaher. Rebbe Eliezer says it's tahar. Why would that be, fellas? Why would a kli be tahar? Because it's not a kli, because it becomes karka. Again, karka is not makabel tumah. The fact that Rebbe Eliezer says it's tahar, is why? Is because it has a shame karka. So now, this would be Rebbe Eliezer can't be the Tana of the Mishnah or Brisa, because our Mishnah needs an A and a B, and all you have is an A. The Chachamim mitamayin, and the Chachamim say it's Tameh. Why is it Tameh? Because it's a Kli. So therefore, neither Rebbe Eliezer or the Chachamim could be the Tana of the Mishnah. Good. Okay, so this is where I started making a chart. We can see this, it's up on the screen. Yes? Yes, no, maybe? We could see this? Good.
Yes.
Okay, so now good. Here's the tziner, guys. We got that clear. Here it passes the mikvah. Of course, it's a kli, it's mayim shuvim. Over here, since it was kaiveya, now this, no one disagrees in this. So you have an A and a B, you have a kli and a karka. By the baker's board, the Rabbanan hold kli. The Rabbi Eliezer holds karka. Since the Rabbanan says it's tamei, it's a kli. Since Rabbi Eliezer says it's tahar, must be it's karka. And they said that in all situations, whether A or B, in all situations, so therefore neither can be the Tana Shel Tzinar. Neither one of these can be that Tana, because he holds all Kli, he holds all Karka, and over here you need a hybrid of both. Right? Here you need a hybrid of both. How are we doing? We're good? Okay, so now, the Gemara is going to suggest that the Daf is either the Rebbe Eliezer, or the Daf is the Rabbanan. Says the Gemara. So money. Rebbe Eliezer, if it's Rebbe Eliezer, right? Afilu chakaku ulebesayf kavu. It should be karka, and it should be what? It should be tahar. Rabbanan, and we're going back to the tzina. Afilu kavu ulebesayf chakuk nami should be shuvim. In other words, it should make a difference, guys. This should make a difference. Since the Chachamim are of the opinion that a baker's board, which is a kli, it should over here also should be always kli, no matter what. Even over here, where it's kaiveya, it should be kli, yet it says karka. If it's Rebbe Eliezer, over here also, it should be tahar. It should not be shuvim. Like Rebbe Eliezer, you should never have a mayim shuvim problem, period. Back in the Gemara, lo'ilam Rebbe Eliezer, lo'ilam it is Rebbe Eliezer, pirish. This brisa of tziner is Rebbe Eliezer. Is Rebbe Eliezer? It's Rebbe Eliezer. Now, how do you explain it? V'shayni pshute kliates the tumah derabanan. In other words, you know why over here he was machmir, he was meko, and he said it's karka. That's a kula, guys. If it's karka, it's going to be tahar. Guys, over here, this is a kula. If it's karka, it's in all situations, it's going to be okay. Now, the baker's board is made out of wood. Pshute kliates, any piece of wood that does not have a receptacle area is not mekabel tumah. So mimela, the reason why he said over here it's karka is because of that kula. Since it's pshute kliates, since the baker's board is wood, and it's only the Rabbanon, so therefore he held in that situation, it was A and B, it was karka. But Sina is the Araisa. Mayim Shuvim is the Araisa we're holding. Mayim Shuvim is the Araisa. If you're holding Mayim Shuvim the Araisa, that would explain why he holds that over here. It's Kli, it's Tahar, it's Tameh, why it passes. So you haven't found the Rebbe Eliezer. Rebbe Eliezer, in fact, could be the Tanner of the Brisa. You're comparing it to Sinar, to Daf. There's a big difference in the Daf and the tziner. By the daf, guys, by the daf, which is the Rabbanon. Why is it the Rabbanon? Because it's made of wood. Just look at the chart. It's made of wood. Therefore, it's the Rabbanon. Since it's the Rabbanon, I'll treat this kli as karka. And therefore, he says over here, the whole thing is karka in daf. Over here, however, where this is the raisa, if you're chakak and then connected, he would agree that it's puzzle the mikvah because it's the raisa. So therefore, we don't have a Rebbe Eliezer who this price is not according to. I can tell you the price is according to Rebbe Eliezer. How was that? Did that try to make things easier or harder? Should we go over it one more time? Why not? Why not? We got time. Let's do it outside. We have a brisa saying one thing. There's sometimes it's a kli when it's connected, sometimes it's karka when it's connected. It can't be according to Rebbe Eliezer. Which statement of Rebbe Eliezer can't be according to? We found a Mishnah in Kalim. The Mishnah in Kalim says, in this situation where it's connected, made a kli and then connected, it's karka. Anything that's connected to the ground is karka. So if that's karka, It can't be the hybrid of Kli and Karka, correct? Says the Gemara, no, it could be. The Mishnah in Kalim is different than our Mishnah in our Brisa over here by Tzinor. The Mishnah in Kalim is speaking about a Kli that's made out of what? Of wood. If it's a Kli that's made out of wood, it doesn't have a base kibul. If it doesn't have a base kibul, it's not Makabel Tuma. Memela, therefore Rabbi Eliezer was Makel. You take this Kli that's not Makabel Tuma, you attach it after it's a Shem Kli and you put it in a wall, guess what? I'll treat it like Karka. Since Midaraisa, it's not a real Kli, I'll keep it on. It's the Raisa Dikadin. It won't be a Kli. Masha'en came by Mayim Shuvim, where it's Sinor. Is there a Raisa? And Rabbi Eliezer would be Maida that it's a Kli. And therefore, you don't have Rabbi Eliezer disagreeing with the Mishnah, with the Brisa of Tzinor. La'olam, back in the Gemara, Rabbi Eliezer. V'shayni pshute kliyates, which is the Rabbanon, the Tumah Rabbanon. So therefore, Rabbi Eliezer treated it like Karka. But Enoch Hinami, it was the Raisa, right? Then he would treat it like what? Like a Kli. Says the Gemara, Mechal the Shiva the Raisa. You're telling me that what? Mayim Shuvim is the Raisa. Now there's a huge taisus over here. There's a huge taisus over here. I'm going to go ahead and after the share, I'm going to share something with you. I'll share the taisus with you after the share. Okay? I don't want to get sidetracked. Okay? Because all of you, the people who are in the know, are saying to themselves, one second, Rebbe, Mayim Shuvim is the Rabbanon. It's not the Raisa. You always told me Mayim Shuvim is the Rabbanon. Okay, we'll have to get to that. So now, there's the Gemara of a Kaimelon the Rabbanon, Amid Beis. We paskin that what? That Mayim Shuvim is the Rabbanon. So your distinction is not a good distinction. If he holds its Karka by what? By Daf, he'll hold its Karka by Tziner as well. So therefore, L'chayre, it is Rebbe Eliezer. That is the Rebbe Eliezer, what? Can't be. V'oid, ha'am Rabbi Yossi Rebbe Chanina, b'daf shel mateches machloikis. The machloikis between Rebbe Eliezer and the Chachamim by daf is not speaking about pshute kliyates. It's speaking about a daf made of metal. If the daf is made of metal, then of course it's makabel tuma, and that's tuma deraisa. So therefore, your distinction is not a good distinction. Either A, because the Mayim Shuvim is the Rabbanon, or B, even if it's the Raisa, then the Daf is also the Raisa. So we've been successful to say that Rebbe Eliezer is not the Tana. Now, so L'olam Rabbanon he. So L'olam, I'll tell you what, the Tana of Daf, right, is the Rabbanon of Daf is the Tana, is in other words, this does not work out. This terrace that you wanted to give doesn't work out. Ella, Rebbe Eliezer must hold kolam mechubel karkas like karka, and he must not hold like this brisa. So now, what about the Rabbanon? The Rabbanon who said over here it's a kli, maybe over here holds its karka. Maybe now we're going to suggest that maybe the Rabbanon of Daf, in fact, what is the same Rabbanon over here? In other words, he could be the time of the brisa. How so? L'olam Rabbanon he. The shiny she'iva the Rabbanon. Okay, so Mayim She'uvim is the Rabbanon. Lo'ilam Rabbanon, it's always a Kli, guys. It's always a Kli. It's a Kli over here that it's Tameh. It's a Kli over here that it's Mayim She'uvim. Why over here, guys, is it considered Karka? Because since it's the Rabbanon and you will Kaiveya, right, we'll keep it to be Karka. It says, more shiny Shiva the Rabbanon. Since Mayim Shuvim is the Rabbanon, therefore, in this case over here, where it was Kaiveya and Chakak, we'll keep it on Karka. Fred Gemara, Ihachi, Afilu Chakul B'Sleif Kavu Nami. Over here also, if you're telling me it's the Rabbanon, then this should be also treated as Karka. Why did you limit it to over here? Why did you limit it to where you first said it and then Chakak? Extend it to Chakak V'Kavua. On that, the Gemara says, Shani Hasam, the Ikar Torah's Kli Alav B'Talosh. There's a din of Torah's Kli Alav B'Talosh. So over here, guys, look at Lo'ilam Rabbanon. Take a look at the chart. Lo'ilam Rabbanon, it's always a Kli. It's always a Kli. So why B is it Karka over here? Because the Rabbanon, they were Mekel. So you're telling me, Einachinami, that the Rabbanon could be the Tana of this Brisa. It could be the Tana of this Brisa. Could be. So you wanted to say that it doesn't come out that Rebbe Eliezer can't be. Pashtus Rebbe Eliezer can't be. I think so. That it says, I think so. I think La'ilam that it can't be Rebbe Eliezer. Because if it's Rebbe Eliezer, and the chilik you want to make and say that he always holds its karka, well, and you wanted to say it's the Rabbanon, it's not the Rabbanon, it's the Raisa. And over here, it's also this is the Rabbanon and this is the Rabbanon. They're both the Rabbanon. He holds its karka over here. He's certainly going to hold its karka over here in both cases. Okay, so Loilim is saying it's the Rabbanon, meaning the Rabbanon could be the Tana of this Brisa, could be, and that seems to work out. Why? Let's go through it. The board, the Rabbanon holds is a Kli, therefore it's Tameh. Over here, that works out. Over here, it's a Kli, it's puzzle, right? That works out. Good. This matches up to this. Yes. What about this? Since Shuvim is the Rabbanon and you will Kaveya, therefore I'll hold its karka. Fred the Gemara over here, so let's say it's karka. On that the Gemara says, let's see the end of the Gemara over here. That the Gemara says, right? Chasam the Ikataris Kli Alav B'Talish. Since when this was disattached, it had a shame Kli, it doesn't lose that shame Kli when it was attached to the ground. Over here, it never had a shame Kli as well yet, and it's only the Rabbanon, we'll consider it karka. So therefore comes out, according to my way of thinking, that Taket's Rebbe Eliezer, the Daf, cannot be this Tana, but the Rabbanon could be this Tana. If he could be this Tana. Okay, what now? Is Mayim Shuvim ever the Raisa or not? Is Mayim Shuvim ever the Raisa or not? So the Rash, this Tosfos, I'll speak out the Tosfos. Let's say the mikvah was all Mayim Shuvim. It wasn't pshat you had water and then you added Shuvim. Let's say you had a mikvah 40 saw of only Shuvim. Then the Rashbam and Rabbeinu Tam of the opinion it's Psul Deraisa. Again, if it's the mikvah is totally, the whole mikvah itself is totally Mayim Shuvim, the Rashbam and Rabbeinu Tam holds the Raisa, and the Ri would hold it's the Rabbanan. If part of the mikvah, right, part of the mikvah that it fell into was more that, you didn't have a full mikvah, and it fell in Tzvi Shuvim. If you had a full mikvah, again, it can't passel. If you didn't have mem sa, and then it falls in, then it's psul de rabbanan, right? But if you have a mikvah that's totally shalem, and roiv of the mayim mat is the rabbanan, roiv of the mayim, then it's the rabbanan. The Rashbam would hold it's the rabbanan, whereas Rabbeinu Tam and the Ri would hold it's kasha. So that's basically the Tosfos. So just be aware. There's a shita that when the Raisa Mayim Shuvim would be the whole mikvah. And the Rabbanan would be if you have most of the mikvah, but it's a quart short, and then you're going to fill in the mikvah to be machshirit, then it's the Rabbanan. If on the other hand you have a full-fledged mikvah and you put Mayim Shuvim in, most of our mikvahs, guys, began as a full mikvah, and of course they add water over time. It's all Shuvim, but since it's falling into a mikvah, then what? It's kasha. Okay, was that was okay? I think it was okay, right? The chart did help in the end, right? It did help in the end. I think so. I hope so. Let's finish the Gemara. Boy, Rabbi Yosef. Okay, what do we need for this? We know that water, in order for food to be makabel tumah, it has to be mukhshel makabel tumah. That means it needs one of 7 liquids to fall on it. Yad shachadam is the acronym. So you need mayim to fall on it. The mayim, however, has to fall on it from. You have to be happy, and it can't fall from a karka. It has to fall from metaltalin. So if you had water that hit karka and then hit the grain, the food stuff, it wouldn't be makabel tuma. So Shiloh over here is we have this it's the rubla, which seemed to be that wooden frame around was conveyed to the ground. The water hits it and then it falls on the zroyim. Are they mukshal kabel tuma? This would be contingent upon how do you view this? It's the rubla. Do you view it like Rebbe Eliezer that it's mechubal karka and therefore it's karka? And the mele would not be makabel tuma, or do we view it why it's metaltalin? Says the Gemara, boy, Rabbi Yosef, megishomim shechoshav aleim lahadiach es tarublin. You went ahead and you thought the water fell down to use it to wash off this frame. Mahu, what's the din? Let's see the bach. Mahu lahachshe behenem es royim. Now, what's the din? Could be machshe royim. Again, what's our rule? If it hits karka, it can't be. If it's metaltalin, yes, it could be. I'll leave it to Rebbe Eliezer who says Kol HaMechubal Karka is Karka, and therefore this Rabubla was part of the sale. It's not a shaila that it's not mekabel tuma because it's karka. Kiti boilach, when's the shaila? I'll leave it to Rabbanan. According to the Rabbanan, the Amri Eino Kikarka, who says it's not Kikarka. What's the din? What would the din be? Teku. The din would be what? Teku. Sholach le Rav Nachman berei the Rav Yosef le Rabba berei the Rav Huna Zuti. So Rav Nachman had a woman come in front of him, and the Rav Nachman, the son of Rav Yosef, and then he sent a shaila to Rabba, the son of Rabbi Yehuda Huna Zuti. The Rashman points out this is not the Rav Huna of Rabbi Huna Amarav fame, and therefore he got the nickname Zuti. He was get short, so therefore they called him Shorty. Anyway, I guess when you're a huge Talmud Chacham and you make it into Shas, if you're short, it doesn't bother you. They say a Meiser with somebody asked Reb Moshe Shaila about a shidduch. They said, what was the problem? Because the boy was too short. But Moshe, who was not even 5 feet tall, said, listen, my wife married me and she didn't do too bad. So then, my Rosh Hashiva, he once said that. I heard that story. She was running a shidduch, I couldn't talk. But she was said, "Er redt nicht so gut. Aber Moshe Rabbeinu euch nicht geredet so gut. Du willst nehmen Moshe Rabbeinu for an Edom?" Because he's a fine fellow. He doesn't speak so well. Because Moshe Rabbeinu also didn't speak so well. You wouldn't take Moshe Rabbeinu, was his son-in-law. Anyway, so he was Zuti. Anyway, so what happened was this woman came in front of Rav Nachman Berei the Rav Yosef, who sent her to Rabba Berei the Rav Huna Zuti in Nardoi. And the message was, when this woman comes in front of you, Agbe Isur Nichse. Again, the halacha is that a woman who's getting married, she takes from the estate a tenth. So he said, take a tenth of the estate from the Yerusha of the father, like the din of a girl who's getting married, and you should collect it, afilu mitzvah rubla d'reichayim, which would explain why it's brought in here. Even if you're collecting it from the frame, the wooden frame that was around the mill, since what as a din of karka, collected from that as well. Ravashi, Kavina Bey, when I was in the base medrash of Rav Kahana, Matbiyin Afila Mi Alma Debate. They would collect what for this for them, they would even collect from the schiras of the house, even a house, right? That you got rent. Guys, listen to this. You received rent for a house. A house is mechubal karka. The mela, the dinner schiras would it be what? Also dinner karka. They would even collect this money for this girl. They would collect what from that. They would collect from that. So Yotzim Midrarei. We have L'chaira, Rebbe Eliezer not being pshat in the Mishnah. I think that's pshat. The Rabbanan clearly could be the Tana of the Brisa. Okay.